Hello everyone, you're welcome to this special program for ICT personnel powered by IMICO International. Of course, there are a lot of things you're going to learn throughout this program. Pay attention. Now, the executive summary of this program has to do with who the promoter is, that is the person that is anchoring this program, and the aim of the program itself. This is a program presented by an ICT personnel and innovative technologist in person of Mr. Joseph James E. Yeah, via IMICRO International Multipurpose or Multifunctioning ICT firm with SMEDAN number SUIN 8183 4355. Now, the program is set to boost the ICT skills of the participants on their choosing skills in order to be able to face the dynamic challenge in the 21st century. The skill available for this phase of the program, as the program will be in phases, it is a form of skill acquisition program, and this is more of the ICT aspect of it. Now, the participants will be able to learn more and become a professional skilled personnel on computer appreciation, graphic designing, desktop publishing, and data processing. Now, we are going to process each of these step by step. Make sure you pay attention. Now, we are going into the computer appreciation aspect of the program. Now, whenever you hear something like computer appreciation, what should your mind tell you? What should you be thinking about when it comes to computer appreciation? This is the part of the program that serves as an introduction to the computer and understanding the vital operative aspect of the computer system, such as what computer is, the type of computer, components and classifications, the built-in of the computer system, understanding the keyboard and other peripherals. Then we move to opening and running of program on the computer system successfully. Now let's move to the computer itself. What is a computer? What is computer system? In every profession, if you want to learn successfully, you must first of all know what certain things it is you want to learn about. To know the accurate and the perfect definition of what you are going into is the most important aspect of any skill you want to learn. Now we have various definitions of computer, but the most important key elements that makes a good definition of computer are input, processing, and the output, which is generally known as IPO. The acronyms of input, processing, and output is IPO. Now, what does that mean? Whenever you are defining a computer or you are trying to understand what computer system is on its own, the first thing that should come to your mind is the IPO. Those are the key elements that makes a good computer system, irrespective of how you build it or how it is. Now, first of all, we need to look at this very important and powerful definition of computer. Now, computer can therefore be defined as a programmable electronics device capable of receiving data, that is the I part of the IPO. It is input to carry out some logical arithmetic operation, which is processing on it to provide the operator with useful information, that is the operator, which is the user as well, with useful informations, which is the outputs. Now, there are things we mentioned in the definition aspect, which is program. We said computer is an electronics device that are programmable. What do you understand by the word program there? Program, according to the computer field, that is the ICT industry, simply means the step-by-step instructional code that enables the computer system to run any specified task accurately. That is programmed for you. That is step-by-step instruction given to a computer system to make sure it runs any given task accurately. For a computer to work perfectly, we have part of it that we refer to as the program. That is why when you go deep into the computer world, you hear things like programming, computer programming. You can also program hardwares. You can program softwares. The programmatic aspect of hardwares are also written with codes to give instructions. Most of these are more effective in terms of robotic programming. Now, talk of the data. We mentioned something like to process given words data, that is the inputted data. What do you understand by the word data here? Data is known as raw facts as far as the ICT industry is concerned, which means unprocessed facts. Unprocessed facts in the sense that such if such facts has not passed through processing in the computer system, that is, it is raw. That is what we mean by raw facts. It has not been processed. Then the processed data are referred to as information. Processed datums are referred to as information. Take note of that. It's very important. Like we said, computer being defined. That is, if you want to have a very good and perfect definition of computer system, let there be the key elements therein, which is inputs, processing, and output. That is what really makes good definition of computer system. Let that keep running in your mind for you to have good understanding of what the computer system itself is. Now we are moving to the next step of this program, which is the types of computer. Having understand the fact that computer is a programmable electronics device that accepts data, process data, and give it out as an information, which is the output, you need to also know the types of computer we have. Here we go. Now, types of computer. As you can see on the screen, we have the three main types of computer. We have the digital computer, the analog computer, and the hybrid computer. The definitions are there on the screen, bold and clear, but we're still going to talk about it. What do you understand by the term digital computer? Digital computer process data in numbers, that is in numeric as well as non-numeric form. It can perform arithmetic operations such as addition, occurrence, subtraction, multiplications, division, and all types of logical mathematical operations. That is digital computer for you. Today, most of the computers available in the market are digital. The best example of digital computer in is accounting machine and calculators. Accounting machines and calculators. Those are very good examples of digital computers. Whenever you hear the word computer, let IPO comes to your mind. Computer receives information, process it, and give it out. Now, talk of the digital computer now. If you are the type that have been very familiar with calculating machines, that is accounting machine and the calculator itself, you discover that whenever you press the button, it displays on the screen, which means it is accepting your inputs. Then, if you decide to press plus, you will see addition sign, or it may not appear, depends on the type of design. Now, when you press equal to, automatically it displays the output, which is the processed data that you are given to read. That is digital computer for you. Now, talk of the analog computer. What does the analog computer stand for? An analog computer is a computer which is used to process analog data. Analog computer stores data in continuous form of physical quantity and perform calculation with help of measures. It is quite different. When it comes to this, it's quite different in the sense that it processed information in continuous form. Examples of analog computers, we have them in the industries, and also we have analog computers in the audiovisual processing industries, which is the so-called studios. Most time when you go to a studio, you see some equalizers with nodes that can be tuned to certain level to achieve certain words, certain sounds to make sure the output is okay. Those are simple examples of analog computer. And if you also go to some industries like big industries that are into productions and manufacturing, you see their machines with reading meter that moves from one side to the other with some kind of seconds or minutes signs on it. It have nodes which also control the inputs and outputs of the quantities. Depends on how much you want it to process or how low you want it to be. That is simple examples of analog computer. Like in the computer world, whenever we are talking about things like this, don't just stay by the examples you were given. We give you keys, then you do more research about it. Like now, if you want to know much about digital computer, you can grab your computer and reach out to the global village. You know what I mean by global village, which is the internet. You get a lot of examples of computer that has to do with digitals there. That is the digital computer. When you talk of the analog computer as well, you get thousands and thousands of analog computer with different designs out there in the cyber world. Now we are moving to the hybrid computer. What is hybrid computer? A hybrid computer is a combination of compressed several electronics computers units built using different characterizations of quantities. That is, using the features of both analog and digitals, and united by a single control system. The purpose of designing hybrid computer is to provide functions and features that can be found in both analog and the digital system. Such computers exist mostly in the laboratory and also in the advanced processing systems. There are some mini computers that are designed in hybrid form. Some mini computers are designed in hybrid form. That is, such computer can perform the activities of both digital and the analog computer. Most of the computers we use these days are hybrid computers because you can see a small laptop or palm top being held by an engineer, and it's simply a hybrid computer because it can be connected to an analog computer or analog machine, and it will process everything in line with the installed software. And as well, if it is connected to a digital computer, it will work along with it without any issues. We are in advanced form of the computer system, which makes everything more easier and more lovable. So like now, you have understand what digital computer is, the analog computer, and the hybrid computer. Hybrid computer are the type of computer that combines both the features of the digital and the analog computer. Take note of that and keep it rolling in your mind. Now we are moving to the next step in the lecture. Now, here we are. We are going to be talking about the components and classification of computer components. There are two main components of computers. You can see on the screen, we have the software components in the hardware components. Now, I'm going to explain what the software components simply means here. Software on its own can be referred to as the part of computer that cannot be touched or feel. You cannot touch it or feel it, but it exists, and it can also be seen through the VDU, which is Visual Display Units, aka monitor. Now, when we talk of the software aspect or the component of computer that is referred to as software, we have it in three main classes. We have the operating system software. Operating system software, as the name implies, simply means the type of software that makes operation possible. They come in various designs, various forms, and their various characteristics. Examples of operating system softwares are Windows DOS, that is Windows Disk Operating System. DOS means DOS, Disk Operating System. Now, these are the first set of operating system that came during the days of computer evolution as far as the software is concerned. Now, we have also the Windows operating system. That is Windows operating system, which is WOS, WOS. Under this operating system, we also have Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a special operating system software that is named after a great man in the African world. We also have the Parrot. We also have the Linux. We have a lot of programming system or the programmers that comes up with various operating systems with various purposes, with various qualities. Most Linux operating systems are open source. What I mean by open source, it means it gives each developers the opportunity to add more features or edit certain feature or modify certain aspect of the OS to suit their purpose. Unlike the WOS, that is Windows operating system, like MS operating system, Microsoft operating system. You can't manipulate things the way you can manipulate it in the Linux system. That is what I mean by Linux being an open source operating system. Like I mentioned, under the operating system, we have the DOS, disk operating system, WOS, Windows operating system, which is the MS Microsoft Windows. We have Ubuntu, we have Parrot, we have Linux, we have Unix, and so on and so forth. Those are examples of operating systems. And the operating system software makes operation possible. It creates environment for other programs to run on the computer system. Without the operating system software in a computer, the computer cannot actually function. You can have other softwares installed if only you have the operating system environment provided for them. There is no any software that runs without an operating system. Even the handset you are holding, it runs on operating system. Most handsets these days run on Android operating system. That's why you see most of the system, they come with various configurations, various specifications, and various operating system installed on them. It started some times ago. You can remember there are some phones that run on Java. Some came with Symbian, and later we have Android, and so on and so forth. That is operating system for you. It creates environments for other computer softwares to be useful. Now, the next classifications of computer software components is the application software. That is the one we um, shorten here as APP. That is application software. Application softwares are the kind of software you have on your computer system that gives you the opportunity to carry out day-to-day activities. To carry out what? Day-to-day activities. This application software helps you in various ways to fulfill your purpose. Like the programmer will come up with their own application software that allows them to write certain codes to process certain things. We also have this application softwares in form of designing softwares like the Corel Draw is an application software. Like I told you, it gives you the opportunity or the ability to be able to process your desired task at a stipulated time. Now, we also have the Microsoft Office package. Microsoft Office package is a very sophisticated operating application software that gives you access to a lot of things. Within the Microsoft Office package, we have MS Word, MS Excel, MS Publisher, MS what, a lot of more features there, of course. Now we have the Visual, MS Visual, we have MS Projects. In the recent ones I'm talking about, we have a lot. We have the PowerPoint, Daring. All these ones give you access to performing certain tasks. That is, you are applying them. You apply your task to them and they will give you what you want. Like the one we are using to take you on this very program now is an application software, of course, because we apply our own skill to it and it gives out the output, which helps you to understand the whole thing as easy as this. Now, the next classification of software here, which is the last on the list, is referred to as utility software. Utility what? Software. What is utility software? When we talk of the utility software, it has to do with the type of software that helps you to maintain and take good care of certain tasks within your operating system. It's just like a caring system, a doctor, the part of software that helps you to guide and protect, help to make your computer healthy. Examples of utility software, of course, you have the utility. If you check, there are some software that they named utility directly because it helps you to scan out junks. What I mean by scan out junks, there are some files that are not useful in your computer. With the help of this utility software, you'll be able to fish them out. Duplicated files will be fished out, and you decide whether to clean them or not to clean them. Within the utility software, we also have the antivirus. Antivirus will help you to fish out some countering softwares, some programs that are designed or accidental programs that can harm your computer system or that can harm the operating system of your computer. The utility software will help you to search them out. Such examples of softwares that can actually disturb your system are Trojan horse, Jerusalem worm, and so on and so forth. That is Jerusalem virus. We have the ransomware. All these ones are against your system in some ways. Then, with the help of utility software, you perform the operation and bring them out. Utility software is just like securing your computer system. I believe you understand it now. Let me refresh your mind again. The classification of software in computer system are OS, that is operating system software. Now, under the operating system software, we have the WOS, the DOS, that is disk operating system, Windows operating system, and we have the Ubuntu and so on and so forth. Those are operating system softwares. We have the application software, under which we have the Microsoft Office package, Corel Draw, Instant Artist, the publishers, and so on and so forth. We have Adobe Photoshop. Those are application softwares. Now, utility software, we have the utility software, the computer care, we have the antivirus of all kinds. Examples of antivirus, of course, you have Avila, Avast, they have Kaspersky, and so on and so forth. There are various types of antivirus software because they kick against any form of software that can harm your computer. Those are examples of utility softwares. That is, utility software have subclasses, which I just mentioned now. Examples of utility softwares are the ones I mentioned thereof. Now, we are moving to the next components and its classification, which is the hardware components. Hardware components is the part of computer that you can feel, touch, and hold. That is, the hardware are the part of computer that you can feel, hold, and touch. Examples of hardware aspect of computer is just like the one you are having before you now. You can see your keyboard, you can see the CPU, you can see the monitor, and all other parts. Those are part of the computer that we refer to as hardware components. Now, hardware component is classified into three main parts. We have the input unit, the central processing unit, and the visual display unit. That is the IU, CPU, and the VDU. IU means input units. CPU means central processing unit. Then the VDU means visual display unit. Let's move to the very core aspect of it. You can see on your screen we have the computer hardware components with the classification there. Now, input units. You can see the input unit here. We touch the mouse and the keyboard. That is where you input your what? Details or the datas. Whichever way you want to put in your data, you make use of these two main components, which is the mouse, the keyboard. Now, we have the VDU, which is visual display unit. Visual what? Display unit. You can see the arrow points to the monitor. Monitor is the visual display unit. Visual, that is the one you can see. Display, that it displays the information for you. And we have the unit, which is the aspect of it. You get that? Now, we have the central processing unit, CPU. The examples of the CPU we have here is the tower type. What I mean by the tower type is the one that is standing. We have the desktop type, which is the flat one. You can see the central processing unit is what we just point to there. That is the physical aspect of the central processing unit. Inside it is what we have, is where we have the CPU itself. I believe you get that. Let's move to the deeper analysis of the whole thing. Now we have the booting of computer. Booting of computer here is very simple. Computer comes in form of two booting ways. First of all, we need to tell you what booting really means. In computer, we do not say start or putting on the computer. We call it booting. That's the name that is given to it. Now, when we talk about booting, booting is the process whereby the computer system is put to work. That is, the computer system got started. Okay, that is the simplest definition of booting. That is when you start the computer system. It's referred to as booting, or getting the computer ready for work. That is booting. When you open or on the computer and allow power to get inside the computer for activities to be performed. That is what it means by booting. We have the two types of booting, the cool boot and the warm boot. Cool boot is the normal start of a computer whereby you have your computer started from normal process. That is by switching on the first power switch, which is the one you may have on your wall. Then put on the UPS, that is uninterruptible power supply. Then you press the power button of the CPU and move to the monitor to press the power button as well. That is referred to as cool boot, because you just started the computer afresh. There is nothing like computer was working before you do that. That is cool boot. Now, when you talk of the warm boot simply refers to as the very process whereby your computer gets refreshed. You restart your computer. That is what it means by warm booting. When you talk of warm boot, that is, you refresh the computer or restart the computer system through the Windows button. You can see by your left hand side, mostly that is where the Windows button is defaultly. You can change it to the top left, or any other side of your computer, but the default side is where you see the Windows logo key. On any operating system, be you Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, XP, Windows 98, they have it at the left hand side down there. When you click it, it pops up, then you go there and restart your computer. Or you can also use the Alt F4, alternative F4. It will pop up the option where you can select either to restart your computer, hibernate your computer, put the computer to sleep, and so on and so forth. That is booting for you. Like I said, cool booting is starting the computer on a fresh ground, while warm booting is like restarting your computer system. Now we are moving to the number 4 part of the computer appreciation, which is understanding the keyboard and other peripherals. Understanding the keyboard and other peripherals. Make sure you pay a very good attention to this aspect of the teaching. It's very important, because this is where you get to understand how to use most of your peripherals and their classifications. Like we've mentioned under the hardware aspects, most of these things you are going to understand here are hardware aspect of computer system. Now we are moving there. Yeah, here you are, understanding the keyboard and other peripherals. When you hear the word peripherals in computer, peripheral means the components that are connect to computer to make the operation more easier, or to enhance the operation of computer system. Now we have the keyboard. As you can see it here, this is the keyboard. If you are with a computer system there, you can see there is a keyboard of this type right before you. Now, this keyboard have its parts. There are parts of keyboard, and these are other peripherals. Peripherals, like I told you, are things you connect to computer to enhance the operation or the performance of the computer. Now, we have the part of keyboards. In the keyboard, we have function key, function keys, typing key, aka alphanumeric key, alpha what numeric key. We have the computer keys, the arrow keys, and the numeric keys. Now, like I told you, part of keyboard stands in this form. What is the function key? Where are they? Now, if you have a computer there with you, just check the top of your keyboard. You will see F1, F2, F3, F4 to F12. Those are function keys. Function keys are the keys that are used to give commands to computer system in conjunction with some other keys. Do you get that? That is, function keys are the keys that are used to give functional commands to computer system. E.g., let me give you an example of this function key and its operation. If you press Alt F4, that is alternative key, if you check your computer, you see ALT. Mostly is downside, at the downside of your system, of your keyboard, which is somewhere around this place. Look at my cursor, somewhere around this side. You will see ALT there, that is alternative key. If you combine it with F4, it will give you the shutdown option in the computer. You get it? That is the work of function keys. They are being used in conjunction with other computer keys to make sure they give a very nice functioning operations within the computer. Now we have the FN key. Some keyboard do not have this, but most of the enhanced keyboard have it. The type of keyboard, in most cases, we have the enhanced and standard keyboard. Enhanced keyboard are the available ones as far as this time is concerned. It is very hard to find a standard keyboard because most standard keyboard do not have the features of the enhanced keyboard. We can say standard keyboard are now obsolete because most people are not using standard keyboard anymore. Now, when we talk of the function key, like I mentioned, they are the keys used in conjunction with other computer keys to give functional operation commands to computer system. Like I mentioned just now, if you press Alt F4, it will give you the, you can, if you are with computer now, you can test it. Just press alternative F4. You will see it pop up something that has to do with shutdown, restart, and so on and so forth. That is the function key for you. All those keys you see, they can be used in conjunction with other computer keys to perform one function or the other. Now, the typing key that we refer to as alphanumeric key, aka means also known as alphanumeric key. The alphanumeric keys, if you check your computer, there are some part of your computer, especially if you are using a laptop now, most laptops have alphanumeric key, and that is all they have. They do not have numeric key. Alphanumeric keys are also referred to as typing keys. You have the alphabet keys where you have A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L. If you check it there, if you are the type that been using typing software like Marvin's Beacon, mastering typing, you will see what I'm saying there on your virtual keyboard. But it's also available on the physical keyboard, which is A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L. So these are from there to the very side where you have your long key. That long key is referred to as bar, space bar. Alphanumeric keys or typing keys composed or is combined of the 1 to 0, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 keys with Q, W, E, R, T, T, Y, U, O, P keys down to the space bar. Those are referred to as typing keys. They are referred to as typing key. Now we have the computer keys. When you talk of computer keys, these are the type of keys on your keyboard that gives you the opportunity or the access to special commands in conjunction with the function keys and other keys. Computer keys are comprises of, they are made up of your cap key, shift key, control key, FN key, that is function key, that is the one you use to filter your function keys. We have the Windows logo key, alternative keys, the page up key, end key, delete key, insert key, home key, page key. These are simple examples of computer keys, including the escape. Escape is a computer key under the classes of computer system, under the classes of keyboard. Keyboard, like I said, you can see it on the screen. It's classified into function, typing, then computer keys. Now the arrow keys, you can see, if you look at your keyboard, you will see 4 keys that are arranged mostly by your right hand side. You can see this one here. Look at the keyboard here. Around this area, you have the 3, mostly the 3 will be in lines against each other, and 1 will be at the top facing front. You will see arrows there. They are referred to as arrow key. It simply helps you to navigate your system without using the mouse. That is, if you want to go up, You want to bring it down, you want to go by the right hand side or the left hand side. Those arrow keys simply helps you. Now we have the numeric key. Under the keyboard we have the numeric key. This numeric key helps you to type in numbers. It's different from the numbers you have on your alphanumeric keys. These ones are usually within this side, and it's usually comes with the external keyboard, not the ones that are built on laptop. You can see where my cursor is here. That is the side where you usually find your numeric key on the keyboard. You can see it there. Mostly you have other operators like plus, minus, division and stuff like that within. It's just like calculator. You can activate it to function as calculator if you are good at operating. Now that is numeric key for you. The numeric keys are the classes of computer keyboard that is composed of 1 to 0 numbers in specially arranged form, usually by the right hand side of your computer system. And that is that for you. Like I've mentioned, the computer keyboard are in two types. We have the standard keyboard and the enhanced keyboard. Standard keyboards, formerly they came with less than 12 function keys. Later we discovered there are lapses. There are some things, those things cannot, those keys are lacking. So later the designers advanced into creating the enhanced keyboard. That is when you have various type of keyboards these days. Some keyboards can give you a lot of operations that you do not even expect to have. Depends on the type of design you have. Now you can see, if you look at the video from my side here, this is an enhanced keyboard. Look at what I'm showing you here. This is an enhanced keyboard here. It's not as common as other systems. This keyboard contains a lot of functions, as you can see it. Now that is enhanced keyboard for you. And there are lots of keyboards. Some keyboards have, like I said, what you can't just easily say you know much about. Now, talk of other peripherals. We have the scanner, the barcode scanner. You can see here, this set of scanners. These ones are used to scan barcode, especially in the supermarkets. Use it to scan barcode and it will confirm the item. We have this as a gaming pad. We have the wireless gaming pad here. We have the wireless Wi-Fi, that is wireless WAN, wide area network. We have the wireless keyboard, wireless mouse. We have 3-in-1 printer, and we have other digital printer here. This printer have fax. As you can see, it have an integrated screen which helps it to perform a lot of activities. You can use it to send fax and more. Now we have the RAM. You can see this card is referred to as RAM. They are peripherals too, because you can have them installed from outside the computer to your computer. We have this one as graphic card, and we have the audio card here. This is an audio card and this is a graphic card. We have an external DVD writer. We have the speaker. We have this as a network hub system, which is referred to as this. It's usually referred to as the center of a network that helps you to distribute network in wireless form. Now we have the hard disk. We have the motherboard. There are some motherboard that can be connected as an external system to the computer. Now, yes, they will come in form of boards, but can be connected to other computer to support the operation. Now we have the woofer. We have the headset. The headset. This headset, that is the headphone, are simply examples of peripherals. Like I told you, there are some peripherals that are used as inputs and others are used as outputs. Take for instance, keyboard is an input device. We have the printer as output device. Why do we call it output device? Because it helps you to print out hard copies. Now, the gaming pad is an input device because you use it to control your system. In the gaming world, we have the mouse, whether wireless or cord type, they are input device. The speakers are output device. When you talk of the microphone, you can see microphone here. They are input device because they receive your voice into the system and process it and give it out through the speaker. Those are examples of input devices. Like I mentioned, there are IU, that is input units, CPU, central processing units, then VDU, which is visual display unit, or you can call it OU as well, which is the output unit. You get that? So that is that for that. You can do more about this whole thing. Like I've highlighted, these are examples of peripherals. Peripheral simply means the type of equipments or components that you add to computer from the external part to make the operation more stronger and dynamic in nature. Let's move on to the next part of the lecture, which is opening and running a program on the desktop. This part of the lecture has to do with working with the graphic designing system. We are going to be looking at that on the next episode of this system. Thank you for listening and remain blessed. If you have any question, feel free to ask. I am always available to help you. Check on our Facebook page at Imicro International. Imicro International, that is EMICRO underscore INT apostrophe L, then underscore EMPS with underscores beneath. You'll be able to locate our page easily. Then you send us your message and request there. Remain blessed. See you on the next episode that will have to do with graphic designing. Thank you.